Hello, everyone. We're back. Week 10 in the books. Moving on to week 11. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited for this one. We have the man, the myth, the legend, the scrappy sagehen. But not only the scrappy sagehen, folks. This guy is the host of the Coach Paul Show podcast. Check him out on
Stop it.
Spotify, folks. We're very happy to have him. This is something that people have wanted, people have asked. And we have one of the great minds of fantasy football, Paul Belangi.
I've interviewed many celebrities. I've never been more nervous as I am being here with you guys. This is a lot. I mean, my biggest person that I aspire to be is William Sherry. He brought a level of amazingness to this podcast that I hope to hold a little bit of a torch to. Thank you for having me.
We're excited. We got a great podcast for everyone. I have a little segment to start the show. I'll tell you the name of it in a minute. And then we're gonna get into matchups a little bit next week, predictions, parlays, all the good stuff, and the best segment, Tony's pepperoni play a pick of the week. Now we're gonna start. Nick, I guess Nick, if you have anything to say, this is your time.
Yeah, I got a couple things to say. First of all, I am a little disappointed that I'm the only person on this podcast currently that's never been on the Coach Paul show. Never even been invited, in fact. So, there's that. Secondly, I feel like every week I come on here and I have to get up on my soapbox about something, whether it's the ridiculousness of our stats or complaining about somebody in the league. And this week, I think we need to have a league discussion about trade etiquette because
Nick.
let me tell you, some of you people do not know how to close a deal, how to work a deal, how to make a trade, and it is pathetic.
Do you hear yourself right now?
If someone, let's say it's me, reaches out to you and I'm like, hey, what's it going to take to get this guy? And I understand you don't want to make the first offer. Well, you can be like, okay, make me an offer. You can respond with that instead of just like maybe not responding or not acknowledging me at all. And then
Paul,
go back and forth.
Doesn't this kind of sound like just nobody's giving me the players I want?
No, it's not that you're not giving me the players. If we go back and forth and have a 2-minute discussion and we're not even close, that's fine. But I'm going to come at you with an offer, and no shit, my first offer is not going to be the best offer. I'm not going to come right out of the gate. It's called trade deal strategy. Anthony, if you were doing sales, you wouldn't just be like, yeah, I'll give it to you for nothing.
No,
You're trying to make,
don't pull me
right?
into this blasphemy. Don't
Right?
pull me into this shit.
I'm not wrong.
Nick, yeah, but
I might suggest
have more patience. Don't you have like 2 wins?
I have 4. I'm on 3-game win streak. I think it's the longest win streak in the league. Thank you very much.
No, I've actually won 4 in a row.
Okay, well, second longest win streak in the league. Podcast is doing pretty good right now.
Brings us.
Let me finish. No, let me finish. So if I make a trade offer, you might say, I don't really love that. Let me see if we can change this piece for this piece, which is a little bit better. And then we go back and forth in what I like to call trade talks. And then we can find a compromise in the middle of your ideal trade.
Why do you want people to trade how you want to trade? Maybe that's their strategy.
Can I say something here?
Well, their strategy is
no, Nick, shut up.
Talk, and eventually I just get, you know what? I think I'll stick with my boys. I was like, well, your boys suck. You're not even going to make the playoffs, William.
Neither are you. I'd like to hear what Paul's saying.
I recently, 4 years ago, somewhat recently, bought my car from CarMax. It was a no haggle deal. The sticker price was the price that I paid. And in a world of Carvana and CarMax, sometimes people want the best offer right away. They don't want this 1984, let's go put on this used car salesman, razzmatazz, and deal with a day's worth of Nick Jones texts because he's giving me some crappy offer on this used junker that I don't want. Nobody has time for that crap.
We only have 15 players on our roster.
Man.
There's not that many combinations that I could possibly throw at you.
This is going to be a great podcast. I am very excited to have Paul.
Whatever. I digress.
I mean, we are getting this is gonna be so good. I'm very excited. Now, I'm gonna get it, Nick. you just wasted everyone's time. Actually, this is the true definition of wasting time. What I'm about to do, but I'm gonna do it. So, I was sitting there, kind of bored, everyone, and I thought, let me crunch some numbers. Let me be like Nick, but instead of
Oh yeah, here's the numbers.
no,
This is-
instead of bitching about some rule that I want fixed, this is what I'm gonna call the segment. I'm gonna call this the GOAT segment. And I'm just gonna take a minute and talk about myself and the history of this league.
Oh boy.
I am dominant. I am the greatest to ever do it. And similar like LeBron and some of these guys that get some hate, you should appreciate how good I am now because one day I'm not gonna be here, everyone. And you might say, Anthony, oh, big talk, what, 3 rings? Okay, let's crunch it. Against all the players in this league have multiple rings, which would be Nick, Justin, and Braden. I'm 8-3-2 against Justin. I tied him twice, kind of weird. So dominated Justin. Braden, actually, I'm only 7-6 against Justin, still winning or against Braden. Nick Jones. Let's talk about Nick Jones and Anthony Jones. Let's talk about the greatness that I provide. Through the first 3 seasons, Nick Jones was 0-5 against me. On the 4th season, he beat me once. 2016, the greatest fantasy football season of all time, Anthony Jones. I went 10-2-1. I was the back-to-back champion. I put up 267 fantasy points in the championship game, the record, and it's not even close. I also have the second highest points at 227 points. So I have both the records for points. It's my back-to-back season. I beat Nick 3 times that season, twice in the span of 4 weeks. I knocked him out of the playoffs for the 4th time in this league's history. And then there's Nick Jones, who is 11-4 against me, has been absolutely dominated. Now there's one person in this league's history that I have never beaten.
Wait, who's 11-4?
I'm 11-4 versus you.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right.
Yes.
I can't beat you. It's crazy.
So let's keep talking. Why is Anthony so good? Well, sorry, but also I've never beaten one person. It is Matty Dolan. I'm 0-1 versus Matty Dolan. So Braden, fuck your ex-girlfriend. She'll always have that on me. I've never beaten him. Now let's get into numbers. Everyone likes to talk. Anthony, defense is like if your defense doesn't score the most, you lose. Well, okay. Number 1 in percentage of winning when being outscored in defense since 2014. 68% of the time, Anthony Jones wins. The next best, Justin Symes at 42%. The margin is massive. Goated. I win no matter what the defenses do. Now, 3 championships, dominated versus all of the best in the league, and people still like to poke the bear. You might say, who pokes the bear? Okay, Connor writes right before the playoffs last year. I tried making a trade with him right before the deadline. He said, there's not a player on your team that I would even want that would start over my lineup. I said, you're going to regret that, Connor. Then I won the league. This year, Ben Jones tries picking up all the quarterbacks, tries colluding against me, poke the bear. Shit pumped him. Following week later, Carter chirps about how bad my team is, how great team. Shit pumped him. Keep poking the bear, keep winning. I'm back on top of the league. I'm tied for the best record in fantasy football. I'm him. Now, going through history, and this is now we're leaving my segment, just some fun things I'd like to shout out.
Thank God.
Shout out to Ben, probably some of the best names in the history of fantasy football league. Ben used to be the Baghdad Benny Hoopers. And for multiple seasons, even when not in the league, he was the beastly Matty Dolans. And let's not forget about 2 members in our league that some people might not even know who they are. Ben Weger was in our league. Will McDonald was in our league. I didn't even know either of them were ever in our league.
But JJ.
JJ Recaro was in our league. Carter had another great name one year that I just wanted to point out. It was Le'Veon a wheelchair. I don't really know what that means, but I kind of like it. That's my segment. appreciate greatness because I dominate at a high level that no one's ever seen before.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I wanted to come on here today was just to say, this 1 versus 11 stuff, I think we need to stop it because we need to give Anthony something. I mean, you've seen the kid's bank account, you've seen what he looks like. We need to give him this. I think
I
we
will
should
kick
be a
you
little
from the
nicer.
Zoom. I will kick you from the Zoom.
Just kidding.
I
Love you,
Don't
buddy.
poke
Go
the
ahead,
bear,
Nick.
Paul.
I feel like as the auditor on the podcast, I need to just point out that Anthony's track record with math is a little,
That
little
percentage
hazy.
thing could 100% be so bad. I was not really knowing what I was doing. Everything else, 100%.
Yeah, that's the thing I take issue with. Maybe he was right. I'm not sure. I don't have the free time that Anthony does
It took me like 2.5 hours
to look that kind of stuff up.
But
my
I just had to prove that I'm literally as dominant as it comes.
Your record is pretty impressive. I will say the last 2 years, the way you've turned your team around and the way you're overcoming having a terrible quarterback this year is very impressive. And I will give you props for that.
What I do, man. The later in the
And
season.
267 year, let's be honest, you just trade raped Maddie and that was
I
that.
got Julian Edelman from her. Everyone needs to relax. I gave her to Kendrick West, I'm pretty sure. Before.
Anyway.
We're going to get into last week's matchups. We'll do them a little quicker.
Just
Paul, anything to say?
Yeah, as I said to you off the air, let's all pony up $1 and get Anthony a little bit more of time on Zoom because he tends to stress about these, 40 minutes a lot. And I don't think this podcast needs that kind of anxiety. I think we need time and refreshing.
As the lead moderator, it's my job to make sure we get everything done.
Yeah, I think if we go longer than 40 minutes, we kind of lose people. So I've actually really enjoyed the 40 minutes getting it out, say everything we need to say.
We lost him after minute 7 when Anthony went on his rampage there.
No, I know. Plus, it's great when you finish right as you throw that last piece of that parlay down, which we hit last week. I hope you put it in. Justin's piece didn't hit, but I didn't really know how to bet on that anyway because that's kind of a weird one, like the rushing, passing, receiving touchdowns.
Yeah, that was the most Justin thing ever.
Yeah, so I didn't bet on that one, but the rest of them, the core 3, those hit, made about $80. That was pretty nice.
Paul, I'd like to say your forehead looks marvelous right now on this.
Thanks, man. I just oiled it.
Let's get into matchups.
I think I can see the something in off the reflection. And
Anthony, don't be an ass.
Okay. All right. Paul.
Hey, man.
Why don't you start and you break down Connor versus William, but we're gonna do matchups kind of quick.
Yeah, no problem at all. I know a lot of things. I'm not going to claim to know anything about fantasy football, but I can read, so that's a good start. William Sherry just nips out Connor. Very good, William. You go to 6-4, and you leave Connor in floundering land 5-5. It's almost pressure time for Connor here. If he wants to make a move, the time is now. Both gentlemen had fantastic play by their quarterbacks, both 30 plus. Bijan, 27 points, killed it.
Brian.
Huh?
That's Brian.
See, I don't claim to know anything about football. There's a B there though. And,
it is.
And when it comes to the rest, I mean, this was almost, you look across the board here, this was almost a tie the whole way through, but it just was Chicago's defense with those 19 points over Buffalo's 12. Buffalo looking rough.
Wait.
That
Paul,
gives the DTX dynasty the nudge.
So, Paul, you were actually asleep when this matchup was finishing.
You don't know my life, but you're right.
You were definitely asleep. It was 11:30.
You're right.
Connor had the edge until about, I want to say 6 or 7 minutes left in the Monday night game because that's when Buffalo played. He was at one point he was up, but I think it was 0.1. Because he had 132.8, and somehow Russell Wilson drove down the field and they scored and they got a couple extra yards and a couple extra points, and it just knocked Connor down one defensive point.
Dang.
Tier.
And it was nail biter. Nail biter.
I think that's gonna be a theme through these matchups, how close they were.
Anthony, how about you do Nick versus Paul, Anthony?
I will do Nick versus Paul. I would love to do Nick versus Paul.
Another one that came down to
Nick, Jesus Christ.
The last second.
You're not shut the fuck up. Gosh, so annoying. Did Paul ask you to do it or did he ask me to do it?
No, I'm just adding helpful commentary.
Nobody wants to hear your stupid voice. Uh, also Connor, uh, panic time, buddy, because I'm running away with the division, and once I get the high ground, my friend, I'm gonna Anakin Skywalker your ass. Yeah, I'm gonna put your ass in the dirt. All right, Paul versus Nick.
Anakin got killed.
Yeah, because he didn't have the high ground.
Oh,
Dum-dum.
I get him. Sure.
Paul lost a really close one, and Nick got away with an easy one, 112 to 108. Bijan finally showed a little sign of life. Olave showed a little sign of life. You know, Nick's hanging in there, but there's nothing really too special about his team. Paul, this one hurts for Paul, and here's why. Nick put up a number that Paul could have really beaten with 112. And I said it last week. I think this is the last week that Paul is going to be an easy win. And if he could have just somehow won this week and gotten to what, 4 wins, Paul?
Yep.
Then I think he's gonna win probably 4 out of his next 5. That's saying something.
That many
I'm
games
gonna
left.
fire in Justin Jefferson. Cooper Kupp's gonna be there. Mixon and Bengals are looking better. I just think things were turning around a little bit, but I think the road is bright for Paul Belangi, but Nick won a close one. All right, Nick, why don't you do Justin versus Ben? Great matchup. Probably our most exciting matchup of the week. Well, no, there's a lot of close ones, like you said.
Yeah, this was an incredible matchup. Justin has just been riding the Cowboys all year.
Ride me, Garrett.
With
Braden's
shout
gonna
out Braden. Shout out Dave. With the Cowboys defense again, with putting up 23 points, and then Dak now going off 3 weeks in a row. Justin was just short on this one. He got a 0 from his tight end. He did get James Conner back, which I think will help him in the next couple weeks, and especially if Dak stays hot. And he was without Kelsey, Waddle, and Devonta Smith. So the fact that this one was even close was impressive. Ben has turned around his atrocious team. Joe Burrow is healthy. He made a great trade with William, which I thought he won, and then he made a good trade with Anthony, which I thought
that trade helped both of us. I really wasn't trying to screw him over. We both needed.
Yeah, I think both teams helped because Ben got depth. I mean,
Rashad White. I got a better starting line.
Carries. Gibbs just happened to come into his own the week you traded him. He needs to figure out Ridley, but other than that, I love his team now. His team looks great. Adams, the coach came out. I don't know if you guys saw it, but the interim coach of the Raiders was like, I know who to get the ball to. I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
Just basically directly calling Josh McDaniels an idiot. So that was kind of funny. And Devontae Adams is good. And that was against the Jets. So I think his matchups might get a little bit easier now that he's through his bye. So
yeah.
Ben's frisky. If someone can make the playoffs, I think it's me, Ben, or Alexi, I think is the thing. And it's me or Alexi will get knocked out this week. But we're chasing Connor and Dave for those last 2 spots.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was a great matchup. Ben won. Bad for Justin. I think he needed to win. But I'll say that trade I did with Ben, kind of the reason I did it. If it was with just about anyone else, I wouldn't have done it. I was just I love Gibbs and I love White. I've been high, and Ridley. I've been high on all of them. They've been my ride or dies. And I knew Gibbs was gonna be a beast. But I was like, might as well just give him to Ben. Because Ben will find a way to fuck it up. And I just don't want to see someone with Gibbs winning if it's not me. And I know it ain't gonna be Ben. So I was like, I'll just throw him the bone.
How did it feel? How did it feel that the week you got Christian McCaffrey, he didn't score for the first time in 7
Yeah, that kind of gave me Brandon Cooks vibes. If you remember that every year I drafted him, he sucked. I'd trade him and then he'd go off every single time after. I think that happened 4 years in a row when he was on the Saints. So that's all right. But yeah, big win. All right, I'm gonna do, or no, I'll do Braden versus Mike. Wow.
on the right one.
Heck of a matchup. Heck of a
Heck of a
matchup.
matchup. Yeah.
I'm with
Mike-
Braden.
Hey,
at the
Mike's
end of-
won 2 in a row. Don't sleep on the pile of garbage.
Don't let him get one. It couldn't make me any happier that Brain Little lost to a team called the Pile of Garbage. Braden, people have kind of sucked off Braden's team all year. It's a good team. I don't like Ramondre. I think Kamara's peak has already hit. I think it's only getting worse. I don't think it'll be bad, but I don't, you know what I mean? Like he was getting 13
Yeah.
pitches and shit.
Yeah.
I don't think he has a true RB1. A-Chain is good, but I think he's a little overrated too.
So I shouldn't trade Bijan for A-Chain this
I
week.
don't know. And Diggs, the Buffalo thing right now is a mess. I mean, Brain will be fine. He's still a top 3 team, but like
Anthony,
definitely beatable.
hypothetically, right? You're sitting there, you need a win. Your running back one's on bye. Would you trade him for Devon A-Chain this week?
Who?
Who?
Who am I
Bijan.
trading for? Bijan? No. I like Bijan more than A-Chain.
When he's on bye this week and you're out of the playoffs if you don't get a win?
A-Chain's also on bye, Nick. No, he's not.
He was on bye last week.
Yeah.
I'm also missing Olave,
Nah, I
And-
wouldn't do it.
my tight end.
Still wouldn't do it. I'd figure out a way to win.
I'm
I
trying.
think this was a game that Braden needed to win. Mike squeaked it out. Made me happy because Braden's got to go up against the GOAT next week at full strength with McCaffrey and Hill, no buys, and Braden's got a bunch of buys, and I think it's going to be a slaughter fest. So I think Braden needed to win this one. I think he's going to be 6-5, which is not where a lot of us had him a couple weeks ago. But Mike, Nick,
Did you see this one came down to Diggs not getting like
yes,
one more-
Diggs non-existent in the entire game.
I was with Braden. He was standing in front of the TV, just like, we need one more catch. And
I
I
would
was
love to
also
watch
sitting
it. I would have loved
TV.
that there.
We were side by side, like, I just need Josh Allen to score. And he was like, I just need Diggs to have a catch. We thought we could do like a double point stance together and both win our matchups, but it just didn't happen.
All right, well, you're both okay. All right, Paul, why don't you do Dave versus Alexi?
I would love to. I'm so happy.
Real quick,
at that.
run out of time.
Yeah, right.
Take your
You
time.
guys so anyways, this was, there's one team that kind of went into the 5-5 into kind of like no man's land. Dave Jones just put the league on notice going 5-5 with a 180-point week on the back of that Herbert fella. That was incredible. Amon-Ra, man, that guy is scary. As an NFC North fan, seeing him get 30 points, don't like seeing that at all. Yeah, even his kicker at 25. The man was just firing on all cylinders, even at the ripe old age of 50. I don't know how old you are, Dave. I love you. You look like you're 38.
He's like 55 or something.
Yeah, he has just breathed another deep breath into that respirator, and I think we should watch out for him in the playoffs. Sorry, Alexi, he got you good.
I agree, Paul. I think that's something. If anyone that's listened to this podcast, I think that's something that everyone's kind of been waiting for was the David Jones breakout week, because we're like, his team is too good to be his record.
Yeah.
And yeah, it finally happened, and unfortunately, but also it's kind of how the season has gone for Alexi. It was him that David Jones had his first breakout week. But
yeah, I will say nothing much there on the bench that makes me shiver, but it was a great effort from you, Dave. Love you, kid.
All right, agreed. And then
Okay.
Nick, why don't you do me versus Carter after Carter poked the bear?
Carter, you poked the bear. You never poke the bear. One thing I know, you don't poke the bear. Ben learned it last week. Anthony, with consistently bad quarterback play, and a guy on his team who threw a brick through a car window.
And no Tyreek Hill.
And no Tyreek Hill.
I win ball games, dude. I win. I
Blow out a
figured it out. That's what I do.
He was smart enough not to start Trevor Lawrence. I mean, even though I still think he would have won, so it didn't really matter. Carter's team just didn't perform. I mean, Derrick Henry and Zeke, he might have the two. I don't know. They're not good. CeeDee Lamb's the only one that does anything for him every week consistently, and everyone else is like a coin flip on whether they do good or not. He is just the craziest variance in the league, probably. Anthony's just consistently been like, I don't think you've been doing like any like 180s or anything,
No,
but like
I think once.
you're at 140, 145 every week, and you just keep winning.
But I think you're about to start seeing some 180s with Hill and McCaffrey. when they have like 40-point weeks. I think.
Yeah, if that comes on the same week, that's a recipe for like a fantasy or a playoff win for sure.
Yeah.
Getting those guys getting like 70 points or something.
That was the goal. That was the goal. We're
Mark,
thinking
make up for
playoffs, folks. Thinking playoffs.
Make
Y'all
up
playing
for-
checkers. I'm playing chess.
There you go. All right.
All right, so we're gonna get into next week's matchups. Got some good ones. This right here, folks. Paul, can I get an
Hey.
amen after this, Paul? This is when things get exciting, right around these weeks. It's like the witching hour. This is when playoffs are made right here. These Thanksgiving week, early December. Oh man.
Amen,
Jets in my
brother.
veins, that gets me hard.
The sage hens are getting slaughtered this time of the year, literally for their turkey meat. But you guys are enjoying the fruits of your labor and
Again,
trades.
amen.
Amen, sister.
Amen. Now, I'm just gonna start us off with this. The matchup of the week, I think we can all agree, is me versus Braden. 6-4, 7-3, the greatest rivalry in all of sports. Me versus Braden. The man that I hate when it comes to fantasy. Me and Braden, we don't make trades with each other. I also went back and was looking. We've never made a trade with each other other than last year for Javonte Williams. One trade. We hate each other. We don't get along. We're both good for the first time in what, Nick? 5, 6 years.
It's been a while since both of you guys were good. Yeah.
And now it kind of feels like the two giants are going at it. I'm pretty excited for this one. But Nick, why don't you do go to our expert analysis, Nick Jones, on this one?
Braden's getting Devon A-Chain back probably, which would be a nice shot to his lineup so he didn't have to start Gus Edwards. Unfortunately, he has Ramondre Stevenson and Alvin Kamara on bye. I don't know if he'll decide to start. He probably will start Tua over Kyler. Anthony, I think you're at full strength.
for the first time, yeah, in a long time.
That's great. Cleveland's got a good matchup against Pittsburgh. Jalen Warren's really coming into his own. I'm seeing big points from Anthony. I think he's going to win. Even Trevor Lawrence has a good matchup this week, so he probably won't
And
get
McBride.
hurt.
McBride with Kyler looks really good.
And McBride. Maybe Braden cancels it out by starting Kyler. We'll see.
Yeah. Maybe.
Honestly, no, he's going to start Tua to cancel out Tyreek Hill.
So you have
I got you.
Paul.
Yeah, I mean, you're at a 4-win streak. Braden's on the 2L streak. Love you, Braden. But I'm going to go the tornado of Anthony Jones.
I'm
Keeps
going with me
on
as
spinning.
well. Going with me as well. All right, Nick, Paul versus Dave.
Gotta find it. Oh yeah. Paul versus Dave. Paul, do we know if Cooper Kupp and Justin Jefferson are coming back? Jefferson might.
Yeah.
Jefferson will
supposed
play.
to.
For sure.
He'll play.
Jefferson might. I heard that he was still out. I think if they're both in, the way Hawkinson's been getting the ball, and I don't see Marquise Brown doing what he just did again, getting like one catch.
Give me
I
Paul
think-
Belangi.
I got Paul Belangi with a huge upset.
Wow.
Dave's team is like, it's fine. It's gonna be a pretty good. It's gonna be a good matchup.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's gonna be a great matchup. But I've ridden on this road or whatever the saying is for much too long. This is the week. I've said it last week. This is the week that Paul Belangi starts the win streak.
Oh my gosh.
Gonna go in. He's on the left, which means he's away. He's gonna go into Dave's house. He's gonna slaughter his kids.
Wow,
Ooh.
that's
Not
me.
me.
Yikes.
Ben.
Give me Paul Belangi.
I will abstain from voting in this one because I just respect Dave too much. I don't want to get the army.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna do Ben versus William.
How
2
much time?
in
much
my
time do we have?
opinion, 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing
In
good.
my opinion, we're great on time, everyone. We're fantastic. In my opinion, kind of the same teams, Ben and William. I think they're both decent. They're both meh. I think they're both gonna be right around 500 end of the year.
Wow.
I love Ben's team. And here's why, because it's my team. And I love my team. So
Huh.
Ben Jones, fire me up and turn the key. Kid's going to the playoffs, folks, because I was going to the playoffs. And he has a better quarterback. And I will still believe in Calvin Ridley. It's coming. Everyone just wait. It's coming.
It's not coming.
It's coming. But
It's
Gibbs and
literally
White,
he's like wide receiver 50. Like
Ben
he's
Jones
actually
went
not good.
from starting like McLaughlin on the Broncos to Chuba to all these guys, and now he's got
I'm
one of the
impressed.
best running back duos in the league. So
How did he manage that? Who did he trade?
I
Yeah.
gave him Gibbs, White, and Ridley.
No, I get. Oh yeah, he got McCaffrey. Yeah. All right.
Um, but I think it's gonna be close. I think that Mahomes is due for a. I think what might screw Ben is I think Mahomes versus Philly, Sunday night football, Monday night football. I think he's due for like a 50 burger. I think this might be
Ooh.
Patrick Mahomes' game. Yeah, you heard me, Paul.
He's due.
All right.
He's due. I think a huge game out of him.
This is the week, Paul.
Brian Robinson update of the week. Not shot. Had a great week last week. It's gonna be a good matchup, I think. But man, Williams receivers are just struggling. Same way. Even when he had McCaffrey, he starts off pretty strong, and then it just kind of. Give me Ben Jones. You guys.
Go ahead, Nick.
William. Give me William.
I'll take Ben on this one.
Love it.
Yeah. Love you both, though.
Nick Carter versus Connor.
Okay, I feel like
teams that need a win.
Pretty good matchup. Yeah, Carter lost last week. I mean, Carter's in the playoffs. He has 7 wins. I think it would be tough for him to blow that. But he's looking for the bye. He's 100% looking for the bye. I think Sam Howell, QB3 right now. He hasn't his bye, but like he's averaging 24 points, 24 and a half points a game. That's up there. I mean, he'll probably finish as a top 6 quarterback. They're starting to give Eckler's fully back. Josh Jacobs is starting to get the ball. Devo's fully back. And then he's got ETN and just flex. Like I think Justin Fields even plays this week if he wants to go that route. So give me Connor in this one. I don't think CeeDee Lamb's gonna be enough, and Derrick Henry just hasn't been good, and Swift has a tough matchup, and Lamar Jackson kind of sucks. So I think Carter's peaked, and I think Connor's going to squeak out a win.
Okay.
Agreed. I want Connor to lose. I think this is going to be a blowout. I think Carter's team, if he does, I think he might lose out, and if he does, miss the playoffs. But if he does, I would love to be the team that gets to play Carter Brand in the playoffs. Now I will say this, and Connor writes, I know when you listen to this, when you're going into work in the morning tomorrow and a little Capital One with a little smile, a little 5'8" frame. Then you listen here, Connor. Love you, buddy. You lose this game, it's over. You lose this game, your season's over. I'm calling a must win on Connor writes because I'm not losing this week. You're going down 3 to me, and the season's done. So must win for Connor writes. Paul, what do you got?
I'm going to go off the cuff here because I probably will never come back to the show, but I hope to. Carter, I think, has talked his guys into. They had a terrible performance last week. I think he rallied the troops. I think they taped the Believe poster back together in the locker room, and I think they rallied for a little victory here. So, yeah, Carter with the squeak out win.
That was a little Ted Lasso reference for you non-Ted Lasso watchers. Be a goldfish. Me.
Wait, can I also point out real quick? I think we didn't mention this for Williams matchup, but he added Tom Brady to his bench as a quote locker room guy.
Want to know? Want to know? Brady's 1-0. I don't want to hear it.
Want to know?
No, he's 2-0. He beat me week
I'm
1.
just saying.
2-0.
I'm
Tom
just
Brady's
saying.
Love the move.
An interesting strategy. I think I've never seen that before. I don't think there's ever been this much locker room talk in fantasy football. So
we got. I feel bad now when I say it, but we got to keep going. We have 5 minutes.
Okay,
all right. I'm doing Mike versus Justin. I'd just like to start real quick. Shout out Mike. Didn't do anything, but haven't talked to you in a while. Miss you, kid. Love you. Fantasy team's all right. I think you should change your team name. It's kind of depressing.
Self-fulfilling
Mike,
prophecy.
whatever you're doing tomorrow morning when you listen to this, if you even do listen to this, hope you're doing good, kid. But unfortunately, your fantasy team is not going to win this week. The winning streak ends. It's just, I don't know. Justin's at full strength, and he's decent at full strength. I think Waddle has a good week. I think Devonta Smith has a big week. I think Kelsey has the biggest week of his season.
Oh yeah, against Taylor Swift's Philadelphia Eagles. Come on
Yeah,
now.
I think a lot's gonna happen, and Dak has a good matchup. Give me Justin Simons. What do you guys got?
Justin.
Yeah, just
His guys are pissed from last week
Dak-
after losing.
Dak has just been.
All right,
Dak has
hold on.
been the
We
best
don't we literally
quarterback.
don't have time. We have
We
3
always
minutes
have
to do
time.
the rest of the
Anthony,
show. No,
Anthony.
I know, but we're usually at 8 minutes, and we have
But it's Dak.
Dak's playing
Dak.
Carolina. Shut the
He's
fuck up,
playing
Paul.
elite.
Paul, who do you
I
got,
love
Nick
Dak.
or Alexi? Yes, Dak is the top 3 quarterback in the league right now. Yes.
Winner of this matchup makes the playoffs. Me versus Alexi. I'm calling it right now.
Okay. Nobody cares. Paul, who you got winning?
Alexi.
Yeah, give me Alexi.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna. My team's gonna look a little different.
Come on,
Okay.
Pepperoni
Paul,
Tony.
Paul, what time is it,
Pepperoni
Paul?
Tony.
Say it one more time.
Pepperoni Tony. Pepperoni Tony.
Hey. Hey yo. I'm walking in. James Cook fumbled the ball last week. But honestly, he was low-key cooking, over 100 yards last week. But we got a new Tony player this week, and we're going back to the Eastern Coast, the Southeastern Coast, where somebody's playing America's team. Good little ball club over in Dallas. But we're in Carolina this weekend, and they're playing those lousy Panthers. Polly want a cracker? Polly want a cracker? Polly want a cracker? Yeah, shut up, Alexi. Fat fuck. Go eat some more donuts, you loser. But I like that name, Polly. Run, Tony, run. It's time for the breakout game for my boy Tony P. Rice-A-Roni. Get on your ponies and start Tony this week. 17 carries, 125 yards, getting in the box twice, and William Sherry. Don't forget those 4 catches for 37 yards. Back to you fellas in the studio.
Wow, that was
Thanks,
great.
Tony.
I think we have 2 minutes left.
Another
Thanks, Tony.
classic.
2 minutes left.
I was
Holy
trying to acquire Pollard all week, so he better. I hope he goes off.
This is the Tony week. This is Tony
That's
Pollard. Big
The
week.
highlight
Alright.
of my week every week.
Oh shit.
Paul, I
man.
don't know if you have a player prop ready, but I'll jump into mine. If not, we can just text him in later. We can figure that out.
No, please. I'm
right.
gonna wing it.
I'm jumping in. I'm sticking with Thursday night because I've been killing. I think I've gotten like 8 in a row. I saw Joe Burrow at 218.5 yards. He put up 222 against Baltimore in week 2 when he was basically on one leg. I think 218 is absolutely criminal, even against a solid Baltimore defense. Give me Joe Burrow over.
All
Wow.
right.
Go, Anthony.
All right.
I'm gonna go with. No, we got a minute 15. We're okay.
Oh, mine's going to be, I don't know what Cooper's Cup's yards are, but go with the over. Man's going to feast this week.
Okay, big week out of
I'll
Cooper
spend it.
Cup. I like that. I'm gonna take Devonta Smith over in yards. I don't know what it is, but I think Devonta Smith has a big week.
If Sleeper wants to load, I can find him. Give me 1 second.
And just for Braden's sake, we're gonna say Travis Kelce touchdown if he was on the podcast. That's what he'd say.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Paul, what'd you say? Rams? Cooper Cup does not have a line out yet. Anthony, what was
Okay,
yours?
20 seconds. Well, those are the 3, and then you can add Kelce if touchdown you want. Well,
Yeah.
Paul, it was
Love
a
you,
pleasure
kids.
having you.
Devontae,
man.
57.5.
Okay, take the over. Thanks, Nick. Paul, outstanding. One of the best podcasts. Everyone go check out his podcast, The Coach Paul Show. Nick,
Great episode.
great episode, everyone. I think we did great. Everyone, tell Braden to stop skipping. Kid is unreliable. He's like freaking Brees Hall or something. I don't know. Somebody.
Hey, come on. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Go, Pack.